Hi, thanks for watching. I'm Brian Ewig.
And I'm Tracy Newman. We are the producers of the digital first series, My Wisconsin Backyard. Each week we post a new short story to our website as well as our other social media platforms, featuring the fun things that people are doing outside right now and how it is benefiting both their mental and physical health.
That's right, and we'd like to share some of our favorite stories that we've put together over the last few months. We hope you enjoy.
Physically, it helped me get out of my shell and understand the possibilities of what I can do. Like, I put up a roadblock on what I couldn't do, and it kind of helped me get through that roadblock and told me it's okay to fail, you know? Like, just as long as you try. My disability is a little bit lower, my spinal cord injury. So, like, I do have leg functioning. I can transfer in my car, put my chair in, jump in my bike, and then ride off into the sunset. In high school, I was playing a lot of football, skateboarding a lot. And then I joined the military. I was an engineer on an aircraft carrier, which was fun. I mean, it was good. I got to see some places that I wouldn't be able to see at 19, 20 years old. Was going to school, was going to Old Dominion University. I was breaking up a fight, and I got shot in my back. I got a 22 in my spine and one grazed the back of my head. Was super depressed after that. I slowly just, like, I spiraled out of control. And then attempting to, like, learn how to do that, how to live with that, and how to feel up, like how to feel better about yourself. Like, triathlon helps. It helped me, like, grow. And not just as, like, a disabled person, but as a human in general. Find who's supportive of you. I thought that I was going to be able to walk again. And as you can see, my legs work, but I cannot walk. So that's one of the biggest things that people try to wrap their head around is, hey, I'm going to walk again. The truth is, you may not. And if that comes down to it, what are you going to do? The biggest thing is to get into a wheelchair crowd, especially a sport, because you'll find a lot of people that are doing things, that are doing really good things, and with their life, with other people, and they'll help you achieve your goals, whatever goals those are. I mean, you know, I can't do a triathlon per se, but I've done many triathlons. I can't ride a bike, but I ride a bike. You can do things. Everything's out there. There's really nothing you can't do. As long as you pursue it and you want to do it, you want to finish it.
My name is Ben Wiesner, and I kiteboard. It's kind of like wakeboarding with a kite up in the air, and you get all your power from the kite instead of some kind of boat. Basically, you go out when the wind is about like 20 miles per hour or so, even more, and wind direction also has to be the right direction because you don't want to be blowing offshore. So you want the wind to be coming a little bit onshore and parallel to it, so you can ride out and back, and also if you fall, it'll blow you right back onto shore and not out to sea. Mainly the spring and the fall are the best wind seasons. The winter's good too, but it's a little chilly to go out. Some people do go out and have really thick dry suits that don't let any water in, but yeah, I usually just stick to the fall and the spring. Summer I go whenever I can, but wind is usually lower during the summer and a little more sporadic, so it's harder to get out there. far as gear, you need the harness, the lines that go from the harness to the kite and the handlebar, and then the kite itself, and a board, which is a little bit lighter than a wakeboard. You can do it with a surfboard, you can do it with the normal, the board, like I said, that's like a wakeboard, and those either have straps that you just kind of slip into, or you can use it with boots, which has you fastened into it. I have straps, and I'm working my way towards boots as well. So straps you start out with, they're easy to escape from, so in case you're falling, you can get out of them real quick. And boots, people use boots when they get a little more into doing tricks. It's a lot of fun. It takes a little bit of getting used to and a little bit of figuring out, but once you're into it, it's just the best escape for me. I get a little adrenaline going. It's outside and it's with nature, and it's just a blast to do. When you're up, and it's kind of relaxing when you're just cruising along, and it's just a great feeling. You feel like you're flying a bit, and yeah, learning new tricks is always something that I like to do. And even if I fall, it doesn't really hurt too much because you're landing on water. So you might have a little sting for a minute, but other than that, you're good to go. There's different levels to it. It's not as scary as it looks. It's a lot of fun, a lot safer than you would think. There's a lot more control of it than you would think. So I would say if you have any fear towards it, don't worry about it. You'll have someone that can teach you and help you figure it out, and you'll just have fun with it.
It takes about a minute. $34.9. That's what it's been like the last couple weeks. It's been pretty steady. It's really enjoyable when you get out there and you look sometimes, you look into shore, it's just beautiful, especially like the winter and the fall landscapes are just beautiful. You can look at some of the landmarks. It's nice to be outside. And then when COVID hit last year, we started swimming here all the time because the pools weren't available. And still swim here more than we used to. I do some swimming in the pools, but they're not as accessible as they used to be. So this is always here, you know, weather and waves permitting.
It's so invigorating. It's just, when I'm in the water and I'm at a comfortable body temperature, I don't want to get out. This was an excellent way for me to keep swimming through COVID, so it was a great way to maintain my fitness.
It stings on your face for a couple minutes and then it's okay. But if you're suited up with proper equipment, you're going to be a little chilly for the first couple minutes, and then you're comfortable.
I think it is amazing. I am so grateful to have this beautiful body of water here.
Ice sculpting is instant satisfaction. It's, you don't have 6 months or 8 months to get it done. Ice sculpting, you have to get it done right there. When we create an ice sculpture, we are transmitting the message that you need to live in the moment, you need to enjoy what you see in front of you. The more practice you get, the better tools you get, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes for us to transmit a message through the sculpture. The message is love. The message is we are all going through very, very hard times, and we are all struggling. And these are cold days, and better times are coming. I like when we get to to inspire kids or adults. You know, when a kid sees an ice sculpture and they are like, wow, that's amazing. I think the fact that we're struggling with the weather and the cold and freezing our fingers and the fact that it's so hard, I think it transmits a message of hard work and discipline and creativity. The biggest satisfaction is if we get to inspire anybody to create not only another ice sculpture, but any other art form. It opens their minds like, wow, if they can do that with ice, I can do anything.
You walk onto my property and you start walking around seeing the animals and your mood is changed for the better, almost instantly.
This is Nugget. He was raised in my house.
I'm a nurse. In June it will be 40 years. My mom's a nurse. 2 of my sons are nurses. My daughter-in-law's an anesthesiologist. Care is the word.
Hey, Dorothy.
When I got Dorothy, I took her to the hospital to go visit a patient. After that, the joy that brings to people, I thought, why not? Ever since then, I share my videos with my patients at work. It takes them to a different place. It's very healing for them. For a moment, it's not medicine. It's life, it's animals and people. At the nursing homes, there was a 100-year-old lady who said, I've lived to be 100 years and I've never touched a sheep before. Hi, Daisy. They were going to be slaughtered. So Daisy, I was told, was abused. My adult goats were at a sale barn. The meat guy comes to get them. Clover's the mama. Oh, that was my finger. This is good for the soul, for sure. Just makes you a better person, taking care of something, whether it's people or animals. I love my job. I love animals, obviously, and I love the mix of animals and people together. It makes for a wonderful experience. Say hi! Yeah, you're a good boy. I just feel like it's just what I do, and it's magical for me, but I can't just keep them for me. I have to share all this with people.
To see more of our short stories, check out our social media platforms or visit MilwaukeePBS.org.
What is so noticeable about Lake Superior is its wild nature. It's so highly undeveloped when compared to the other 4 Great Lakes. It has the longest shoreline of all of them, but yet it has the fewest amount of people living in its basin. One way to look at that is to consider that in all of the Great Lakes combined, there's almost 40 million people inhabiting it. Lake Superior has only about 700,000 people living in its watershed. And so in terms of anthropogenic pressure put on it as a resource, it just doesn't compare to what is required of the other Great Lakes. Lake Superior has the largest footprint of any freshwater lake in the world. Its square footage covers 32,000 square miles. And then when you couple that with its depth, Lake Superior averages almost 500 feet deep. It reaches depths of almost 1,300 feet deep, where Lake Michigan only averages about 280 feet deep. Other ways to look at that is our Great Lakes contain 20% of all of Earth's fresh surface water. And of that, over half of it is in Lake Superior. Okay, so it contains over 10% of all of the planet's fresh surface water. You can fit all of the other 4 Great Lakes into Lake Superior. So it's storing quite a bit of water for us, and when it does it for a long time, for generations really. So for example, a raindrop falling in Lake Superior will be contained in the lake for up to 200 years. Lake Erie's residence time is only about 2.5 years. It contains a lot of water and it holds on to it for us for a really, really, really long time. In terms of that water, what's so striking when many folks visit the Lake Superior shoreline is just how blue and crystal clear Lake Superior is compared to some of the other inland lakes that they've seen before. And really that's indicative of what's known as an oligotrophic lake, one that is very cold, very well oxygenated, very deep, and relatively clean. An oligotrophic lake has a relatively low productivity, biologic productivity, because it has fewer plant nutrients, lesser concentrations of organic carbon in its sediments, and really what it's indicative of is a lake that's rather young for its evolutionary lifespan. So while all the Great Lakes provide an invaluable resource to us, there's truly none that are greater than Lake Superior.
It's really just a sled and you come out here, find a hill, and there's not a lot to it. Just get up there and slide down. It's pretty fun. I love the snow. You know, it's one of the reasons why I moved back to the Midwest. My family and I, we moved to California in like the late 80s. And then I moved back here like in 2012. I only had fond memories of all the seasons, of the fall and the winter. And I always missed that when I lived in Southern California. Living out there is just kind of like one year just kind of blends into the next because the weather's kind of the same. When I was younger, we would go out sledding. So it's something I didn't do a lot when I was younger, but I always enjoyed it when we went, you know. And I knew my daughter would enjoy it, and she, you know, she was sledding since, you know, for her second birthday. She just loves going down, you know, the ramps, so the hills. So yeah, she really enjoys it. So which I'm glad she likes it. En español le puedes decir?
Es que es divertido.
She said it's fun. It's divertido, it's fun. Yeah, pretty much every time it snows, she wants to get out. She loves moving fast. She's fearless. With the pandemic, there's nothing going on right now. So anytime chance I can take her outside, and we go outside. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, it's part of living out here. You know, either find something you enjoy doing outside and get out there.
Every once in a while I thought about skiing and I thought, well, I better do it by the time I'm 50. I'm Arlene Wasatsky, I'm 86, and I've just been having a grand old time with all of this snow. I like seeing all the different scenery, and I like the exercise of it. I really enjoy that. I just have a really good sense of balance. I don't worry about falling, and I always think it's snow anyways, it won't be hard. The reason I'm like this is because I have kept occupied with activities of all different sorts all through the years, and going to exercise, working out. From May to October, I'm sailing here every day, and then I take walks. And oh, I rollerblade. I forgot about that. I rollerblade too. The secret is to really stay active as much as possible. Well, I'm going to keep on as much as I can. My knees are a little bit, complaining a little, but I still manage to go. Yeah, and I hope till at least 90.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. This is Robin. Hello, Princess. How are you? Hi. This is Robin, our moose at Milwaukee County Zoo. She is gonna be about 12 years old. She was an orphan in Alaska, and so we took her in and raised her. She's kind of spoiled here. Aren't you, Robin? Let's head inside. So what we do, so we have a little moose bell for her. Oh. Wisconsin does have a few moose, but not very many, so it's very rare that you would see a moose in the wild in Wisconsin. This is the only chance you would probably get to be this close to a moose and really understand why it's important to do conservation in your daily life to protect animals like her and other animals that live in Wisconsin and then throughout the world. So Robin is about 800 pounds here. So a little bit more right now, and generally what they eat in the wild is vegetation. So she loves willow, and actually in the winter they will eat a lot of bark, whatever they can find. So this is an antler from a male moose. Only male species of deer have antlers, with the exception of reindeer and caribou. Females do have antlers for that species. This is actually bone, so it grows until it hits a certain size, and then they shed the velvet, which you can kind of see a little bit here. Those are actually lines from blood vessels, because like I said, it is bone, so it's constantly growing. And then they'll shed it out right before winter, and they'll start growing again right away. They're actually, especially in Minnesota, their numbers are really declining. They're very impacted, partially by habitat loss, but also by diseases from deer. They're finding that moose, as the climate's changing a little bit, they're not as adapted to those sorts of pests like other animals are. So we're losing a lot of moose in the United States. There's not a lot left.
The best time for surf is usually the fall, the winter, and the spring, the cooler months out of the year. A lot of times we like that cooler air over the warm water, so fall's perfect. Summer heats up that water, gets it nice and warm, and then fall, that air temp drops and those gale force winds move in and really push that water and make some good waves for us here. We surf the natural wind-driven waves just like they do on the coasts. Obviously our windows for opportunity are a lot shorter here. A lot of times we're surfing, anywhere between 4 and 12-hour windows, whereas sometimes on the coast you see, 4-day windows for surf. If you know what to look for and when to look for it, you can definitely find some good waves. A lot of people people are getting into surfing right now. It is one of those sports where you can socially distance, where you can go out there on your own or with one or two other people and some space between you and do it, you know, safely. I will say the first few times you go out, definitely a little uncomfortable, feeling those waves hit you and the water dragging you around, but at the same time, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get and the more fun it becomes. It's funny because I always say the most difficult part of surfing is everything that takes place before you hit your feet. You know, when you get on your feet, then you can ride the board, control it, have a good time, but it's the paddling out, you know, getting hit by those waves, having that current dragging you around. When you finally get up, hop up and get on your feet is actually the easy part, in my opinion. There's so many factors that I love about it. Being outdoors in these naturally driven waves, you know, having a chance to kind of have some solitude out there. And then on top of that, the rush of, you know, gliding down the face of a wave, you know, right out in the open waters.
Thanks for watching My Wisconsin Backyard.
To see more of our short stories, visit our website or check out our other social media platforms.